Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Sunday, February the 17th. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter, I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram, I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. A tough loss for the Canucks. They played hard, they played well. I agree with Coach Travis Green in saying that they probably deserved a better fate, but alas, the San Jose Sharks beat the Canucks 3-2 in San Jose. The Canucks come home from their California road trip with only one win in 3 games, so 2 points out of possible 6. As I mentioned before they went, it would be great if they got 3 or 4. It would be amazing. But alas, they are 9th still in the Western Conference, only 1 point behind the Minnesota Wild. But there are 3 or 4 teams that are right behind them with 57 points, just 2 points behind the Canucks. And they have a couple games in hand, and that's teams like Colorado, Chicago, and now even Arizona has snuck up. So Canucks don't play again until Thursday. We'll see what happens. These teams behind them will have a chance to make up their 1 or 2 games in hand. So we'll have a better idea of where they're at on Thursday night. But unfortunately, Thursday night's when the Canucks play next against Arizona, so that'll be a big game. But unfortunately, they squandered a chance to jump over Minnesota, at least temporarily, to lock into that 8th and final playoff spot. So we got a few days to figure that out, and we got a few days to talk about what the Canucks need to do going forward. Obviously, a lot of guys playing above their weight class, so to speak, or fighting out of their weight class, or whatever this saying is, because of the 6 injuries. The injuries to 6 regulars in Tanev, Edler, Berchi, Sutter, Virtanen, and Thatcher Demko. Demko not so much, right, because Markstrom's still been playing well. But, unfortunately, like I said, the Canucks squandered a chance to win last night. All right, let's talk about Elias Pettersson. And I asked you the question, how many games will it take Pettersson to get to 100 career points? And I bring that up because Brock Boeser yesterday, in scoring his goal, that was his 100th career point in 118 career games. So about a 0.84, 0.85 points per game average. Not bad. Becomes the second fastest Canuck to do so. Pavel Bure did it back in the day. He had 90. It only took him 96 games to reach 100 points. So that's obviously 100 points in 96 games. Just over a point per game average for Pavel Bure. So then naturally I asked the question, how long will it take Elias Pettersson to reach 100 points? And I put a poll out, actually, before I say that, right now, Pettersson has 26 goals, 28 assists. He has 54 points in 49 games. Yes, the Canucks have played 60 games, but we know that Pettersson has missed 11 games due to his 2 injuries. So again, 54 points in 49 games. That puts him at a point per game pace of 1.102. If you extrapolate 1.102 out into 100 points, that will take him basically 90 and a half games. You can't have 90 and a half games. So basically, in Pettersson's 91st game, if he continues along this pace, he'll reach 100 career points. That'll be 5 games faster than Bure did it, and 17 games faster than Brock Boeser did. So needless to say, it would be an amazing accomplishment. So I put a poll on Twitter yesterday, and I said this. I said, how many games will it take Pettersson, given his points per game average, how many games will it take for him to reach 100 points? The first 100 points in his career, given that Bure did it in 96 and Boeser did it in 118. So I put four options out there. I said 90 or fewer, 91 to 95 games, 96 to 100, and over 100 games. Almost 200 people responded, and the results went like this. 50% of you, exactly half, said it'll take him 90 games or fewer. 38% of you said between 91 and 95 games. 9% said 96 to 100, and only 3% said it'll take him more than 100 games. So we can scratch basically from 96 up. That was only 9%, and then 100 up was only 3%. So 12% of the people think it's going to be more than 95 games, i.e. 96 or more. So let's not talk. We don't need to talk about that right now. Let's talk about the 88% that said it was going to be under 95 games or less. So again, 50% of you said it'll be by his 90th game, and then 38% of you said it'll be between games 91 and 95. And it's really interesting that was a pretty close split. 50 to 38 is not bad, that percentage split. And it happens right where, like I said, when you extrapolate his current points per game total, it's going to happen between his 90 and 91st game. You can't have something between a game. So, extrapolated, the actual stat would be his 91st game. I think it's going to happen in 90 games or fewer because of 2 main reasons. Number one, Quinn Hughes is going to come up soon, whether it's at the end of the season or the start of next season. Regardless, Pettersson's going to play 20 or 30 games with Quinn Hughes, and Quinn Hughes on the power play specifically. The power plays can't get any worse than it is right now, quite frankly. Quinn Hughes will be a big part of it. We know Pettersson's the main attraction on that power play. So I think naturally there's going to be more power play points to go around between Hughes, Horvat, Boeser, and Pettersson. So I see Pettersson's points per game going up a tiny bit because of the bump in the power play that Quinn Hughes can bring. The other reason why I think he's going to do it before, before 90 games or 90 games or fewer, is because Pettersson is now finding a way to record assists. And it sounds kind of funny I say that. He has 26 goals and 28 assists, so almost an even split. But just until recently, he had more goals than assists because of hat tricks or multi-goal games, 2-goal games here and there. And that was pretty, obviously really neat and exciting to see. But one thing that we've noticed is Pettersson is starting to record more assists than goals now. Of Pettersson's last 6 points, it's only been 1 goal and 5 assists. So obviously before that, he had, leading into that means he had 25 goals and 23 assists. He had more goals than assists. But like I said, 5 out of his last 6 points have been assists. And we can see why. Pettersson is sometimes getting less time to shoot the puck, or defenders are intelligently keying in on him. They know he's got the snapshot, the wrist shot, the slap shot, the one-timers. So as teams continue to try and take that away, Pettersson has to continue to develop his passing skills. And his passing skills are good. We always talk about his shot, his dekes, his defensive tenacity, his hockey IQ. But where all those things, where his hockey IQ especially comes out in his passing. And we've seen that recently. He's always been a good passer, but it's probably one part of a game that doesn't get enough attention. And we see him passing in different ways. 2 games ago, he drew 3 Kings defenders to him on the rush, and he was able to get the puck to Adam Gaudette on his left side, and Gaudette wired the puck home past Jonathan Quick for the game-tying goal. So that was off the rush. Then just last night, we saw Pettersson draw 2 Sharks defenders to him in the corner, and then him doing a nice little pass to Boeser behind the net. Boeser comes out in front of the net and puts a fluky shot past Martin Jones. So two games, the last 2 games, but we've seen 2 different ways of Pettersson drawing defenders to him and then having the wherewithal to get the puck to an open teammate. So because of those 2 reasons, because of the power play with Quinn Hughes and because of Pettersson starting to rack up more assists to go along with his goals, I think he's going to actually improve on his 1.102 points per game pace and therefore reach 100 career points before he hits his 91st game. So that's just my prediction. I know, it's not an earth-shattering prediction, but I just see simple things in his game. Even though he's starting to, everyone knows about it. He's not a secret anymore. You can't hide him anymore. I still think he's talented enough where he's still going to find a way to get his points. One other thing that talks about how good Pettersson is. He has 54 points in 49 games, as I mentioned. In those 49 games, his longest scoring drought, where he's gone a game without a point, has been 4 straight games, and that's it. That happened in November when the whole team was playing poorly. And then his second longest scoring drought, and it only happened once, was 2 straight games without a point. And actually, it's interesting. It was those 4 games, then he got assist, or a point, and then it was another 2-game drought. So there was his worst drought of his short career has been only 8 games. In those 8 games, he had 2 points in those 8 games because it was a 4 games without, then 2 games with a point each, and then another 2 games without. So again, he went 8 games with only 2 points, made up of 2 mini droughts of 4 games without a point and 2 games without a point. For the rest of the season, now check this out, Canucks fans. For the rest of the season, he has never gone 2 games without getting a point. That's pretty amazing when you think about it. And I guess it makes sense when he has 54 points in 49 games. But that's how consistent Pettersson has been. Take away that 4-game drought and the 2-game drought. For the rest of the season, he's never gone more than a game without registering a point. That's pretty remarkable when you think about it. And of course, it's an average, right? Points per game is an average. That's why, even though he had those 6 games out of 8 where he didn't get a point, he's also had 2 5-point games. So that's why it averages out, and that's why he's recording more than 1 point per game. So it's pretty phenomenal when you think about it. The fact that you can count on Pettersson for getting you at least a point in every second game, and way more often than that, obviously, given his totals. So Canucks fans, I'd love to hear what you think. What game number will it be where Elias Pettersson records his 100th career point? Is it 90 or fewer? Is it between 91 and 95? Remember, Pavel Bure is 96. Brock Boeser was 118 done last night. But Pettersson is on pace to go much faster than both of them. So let me know what you think. Give me a number. For the heck of it, give me a game number that you think he's going to do it in. And tell me why. If it's 90 or fewer, tell me why you think he's going to speed up his pace. If it's 91 or above, tell me why you think he's going to slow down a little bit. I love to read your comments below. This is something that, I'm fascinated in this kind of thing. As Pettersson, as I've talked about many times before, has single-handedly given Canucks fans hope, probably sped up our rebuild by a year or two. And one of the main reasons, he's the primary reason, along with Markstrom and Boeser and Horvat, but he's the primary reason why we're still talking playoffs in the middle of February. Canucks fans, please leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, and reply. As always, subscribe if you like to. Like this video if you like to. Like I said, Canucks are off until Thursday. They host Arizona. I'm sure they'll be practicing a couple times in the, in between. And exciting news that I announced on Twitter. I'll be actually volunteering at the annual Dice and Ice, their big charity fundraiser happening this Tuesday night. So I'm going for my orientation tomorrow night, Monday night. I'll let you know what I'm doing. And then if you're there on Tuesday night, I'd love to have a quick chat, say hello, and we can talk Canucks. We can talk everything. We can talk about how fast it'll take, how many games it'll take for Pettersson to score his 100th career point. Have a great day. Enjoy the weekend. And if you're in Canada, enjoy Family Day tomorrow. Yeah, enjoy it. It's sunny, the snow's melting, and it's safe to drive again. God bless, and go Canucks go.